This is for sure the most valuable video I've ever put on YouTube. I packed 5 years of long-form knowledge into this, my Omega script. It's something I was never going to share with anybody, but I shared it with my VIPs, and now I feel like sharing that recording with you. Not only that, you get the Omega script for free, plus a few extra gifts at the end. So if you want to jump ahead 5 years on YouTube, enjoy. Watch it twice, take notes, but enjoy nonetheless. Unless you ain't got time for it. It's not like 5 years is nothing. Okay, so today is May 30th. It's the VIP Q&A, and what we're gonna do is start with the Omega script. I keep talking about it. This is the script that took me like years to put together to finally get the exact template I want, and it will work for all education expert type businesses. You can also use it for entertainment. You just have to remove a couple things. So the first is the intro rules, okay? So if you were to ask somebody like Mark Rober or Mr. Beast, how's your workflow? How do you start? They always start with the thumbnail. They always start with at least the general idea of what the thumbnail is going to look like, the composition and everything, because number one, they want to kind of match that visually as well. And number two, they know that it's a proven concept. They won't make a thumbnail after the fact, because when you do it after the fact, you don't know if that concept can be conveyed very well visually. But when you start with the visual in mind, then you know the concept can be conveyed. There are a lot of good content ideas out there that can't be conveyed very well through a thumbnail. So that makes them not good ideas, okay? That's really, really important to remember, because you can have the best video in the world, but if somebody doesn't click, they don't watch. It's seriously so important to remember that. The two biggest videos on my John Scott Creator Rant channel, I had the thumbnail in mind before I made them. When people see this, what are they gonna want? This is about shorts. This is about overcoming shorts jail. They need to know that I'm for real. And so the first thing that they're gonna wanna see is my views and the graph and a flat line, maybe something about shorts, right? Like those three elements are like super important. And so when you click it, the very first thing that you see, I mean, you can already see it, it's a graph. If your views, bam, flat line. And I used the same arrow because I thought like, that's just extra. You meet that expectation. Keep getting stuck. You're not shadow banned. You're just in shorts jail. Shorts jail is like the, I don't know, 10th word I say. And so that also meets the expectation, how I finally got out of shorts jail. And so, yeah, there's the shorts jail. I've been there. But then I found the keys, and then there's like, oh yeah, here's my social proof. Now I've gotten what I got, and now you can watch to get what I got for you. Get it. And so that's the simple idea of start with the thumbnail in mind. And that was the first part of this. So you meet expectation. Anyway, let me move on to the rest of this script. So I did this much for you, so you don't have to. That's input bias. And then qualifying statement is I've gotten these results, so you can too. This is more education. Okay, I'm gonna get to an example here in a minute. The hook and curiosity is like just saying, these are the reasons to stay, right? Like there's something that you don't know, and I'm gonna pitch it in a way to make you think that you have to stick around for it. It's like Russell Brunson says, you give them the outline, you don't give them the tactics, right? That's how he does webinars, except for us, we do it in the intro and then give them the tactics throughout the video. That's education angle. Ensure value. You make sure that they know they're going to get what they clicked for. And so that goes with entertainment, education, whatever. When you have something on the front, let's go with Brick Mayo. Okay. He's got a thumbnail. I got number one in Fortnite six times in a row or whatever, or I won this competition. When you ensure the value in that particular circumstance where he's a live streamer, you kind of show blurred things maybe to not reveal all of it, but then you show your reaction, yeah, or like, oh my God, like all these crazy things. And that ensures to them like, oh, this video is wild. That's why I clicked. And now I can see that things happen. And so I'm going to stick around. And that's like the easiest way to do it for storytelling in general. Derek, it's great for you too, because you start with a preview of this lady is talking about somebody being dead maybe. And so you know that part's coming, or the cops show up. You show you a little preview of that, you know that that part's coming. And you don't reveal it all. You give them just enough to make them realize I'm going to get what I clicked for. Like that's the whole point of the intro, is just to ensure that they're going to get what they clicked for. When it comes to education, this is what I do, a 3-point overview. In this video, you're going to get this. But Mr. Beast is like, we're going to take you from $1 to $1 million, and we're gonna go blah blah blah, and then we'll see this, and then we'll see that. And so you know, like the structure of the video, you know the exact layout. And the reason that structure is so important is because people never feel lost. When they feel lost, they click away. They get confused, whatever. 3 is the magic number, as Steve Jobs always said. You don't have to use 3, but it's easier for people to remember 3. This can be as simple as any tutorial. Like, for instance, have you ever used a whiteboard and it keeps getting dirty and mucky, and no matter how many times you erase it, it keeps getting dirtier and dirtier? Well, today I'm going to show you the 3 secrets of how to clean that. Number 1, the product that nobody tells you about. Number 2, the secret way to wipe. And number 3, the markers you need to use, right? And then it's like, okay, well, I know exactly what I'm getting. I know exactly what to expect next. And by the way, it's WD-40. That's the secret. That's what I use. I always use WD-40. And then I wipe it. And so when I draw over it, it's easy to wipe away. And then the bonus value. This is something that I offer. Typically, you'll see a lot of education people offer this. And it's just something that I give extra. So let me take you through the intro here, and I'll point out all the parts. Because when I was writing this, I literally sat here with these rules, and I made sure that I included all of them. And if you do it right, can you apply bonus value on entertainment? Yes. So that's what Mr. Beast calls exceeding expectation. And then after, I've got a special surprise for their families or something. He helps people see again. And he's like, and then after, I've got a special surprise for blah, blah, blah. It's just like he does one more thing. Instead of revealing it right away, he saves that extra little piece for the end, right? And it's so easy. You'll get the Omega script. I'll put it in the tool, in attention.tools. I'll give you guys a rough version. I'll toss it in the VIP announcements so you can just see what I'm talking about. And then, of course, you'll be able to watch this video. So, yeah, you can apply bonus value on entertainment. Just like hold a detail back, and then when you do your intro, and this is easiest to do when you do your intro after it's all done. That's why voiceovers are so important. Something I recently told Derek about. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to force your intro when you record. It's always easier to do it afterwards. I hate to keep saying Mr. Beast, but go watch him. Is he always on screen saying those words? He's not. It's because he changes it after the fact. He does voiceovers. They always start the same. I'm gonna blah, 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 blah. And then it goes to B-roll and he's like, and then I'm gonna la, la, la. And he like records that after the fact. It's just so simple when you do that. So he always starts it the same. It doesn't matter what he records because it always starts the same. And so he's never limited. Okay, so let me point this out. Meet expectation. If your views keep getting stuck, you're not shadow banned. You're just in shorts jail. Okay. Number 1, I show the graph, which we all saw the thumbnail. So that's meet visual expectation. I say the word shorts jail, and it says the word shorts jail in the title, and that's the other part of expectation. So you say what's in the title, you show what's in the thumbnail. Those are the 2 rules. And so, you know what? I'm going to write that down so it's easier for me to give to you guys. You can meet expectation however you want, but this is the easiest way. Obviously, the main subject in mine was views and graph. And so it's not me. I'm not the main subject. And so I don't necessarily have to be in the intro. It's like the value is what's more important. But when you get so big like Mr. Beast, it's kind of important to show you in the beginning. So that's just, it's not something I need to teach. Okay, now, I've been there. But then I found the keys, and then I got over 300 million views and helped thousands of creators and businesses do the same. And today, okay, so that's my qualifying statement. I've been there, but then I got over this many views and I helped thousands of creators do the same. I show Eric on screen where I'm talking to him, and that's like a big part of social proof because he's like a bigger creator. Yeah, that's my qualifying statement. I am qualified to talk to you about this. So when it comes to entertainment, you don't need to be qualified, but you need to have effort. If I come across a Fallout streamer, what makes them different from all the other Fallout streamers? Well, this Fallout streamer did something in particular that was different from all the others. They spent 50 hours following Dogmeat. They spent 50 hours following Dogmeat to see wherever he went. That's input bias. That's Austin. What the fuck is his name? Austin. I love him. Austin. It's not Austin Evans. Any Austin. Okay. So any Austin, he followed Dogmeat to see where he went or something along those lines. And so all of his are focused on input bias. How many trees are there in Skyrim? He fucking counted them. Can you conduct a census in Red Dead Redemption? Like all this stupid shit that he just put in all the input bias to do. Do Red Dead Redemption 2's power lines connect to anything? Well, guess who followed him? He did. And so like these are just real interesting ways to include input bias into an entertainment video. So the hook and curiosity here is coming up next. And businesses do the same. And today, those 3 keys are yours. So the hook is actually 3 things right? Hold on.
Million views and helped thousands of creators and businesses do the same. And today, those 3 keys are yours.
1 second. How did I
Not
say
only
it?
that, if your views keep getting stuck, you're not shadow banned, you're just in shorts jail. I've been there. But then I found the keys.
Okay, so I found the keys. It was, I remember when I wrote this, I'm like, how the hell am I going to do a 3-point summary? How do I tell people that there are keys? But then I found the keys was like the only clever way I could do it. And so, yeah, I found the keys, and then those 3 keys are yours. I found the keys to get this. That's the hook. That's the thing that you're curious about. What the fuck are these keys? And then I say those 3 keys, and that solved the 3-point overview part. And so we ended up with our summary. And so the more you do this, the more you end up like kind of combining these elements together. And like, I'm a little proud of it because I was able to connect that into like one sentence, right? And so if the more of these you can hit in one sentence, the better. I mean, that's great.
And then I got over 300 million views and helped thousands.
So these aren't in order, by the way. Obviously I did qualifying statement, and then I did hook, and then I did summary, and like I moved them all around, right?
Of creators and businesses do the same. And today, those 3 keys are yours.
Yeah, so those 3 keys sets up the 3-point overview, and it ensures the value you're going to get these to get the results that I got. And so I combined actually like 4 things in one sentence, right?
Not only that, you're going to get a free tool to make sure you never go back to shorts jail.
And then that's the bonus value. So I just added something a little bit at the end. Not only that, or and then as a surprise, I meet their family and give them something special. Like that's the Mr. Beast way to go about it. So yeah, you can go bonus value, exceed expectation, however you want to do it. Okay, so that's the intro. That's like the big point of the Omega script. I'll move away from the editing just for a second. The rest of the Omega script is pretty easy, all right? Here's rule number 1, or rule number 50, whatever. Point number 1, it needs to be the best one. It needs to be the best insight, the best highlight, the best moment in your game, whatever. Front load that point first if you're doing a 3-point structure or some sort of structure. It needs to be the best one, because the majority of people won't get past it. The longer your video goes, the more people drop off. And so point number 1 needs to be the best one, or example number 1, or situation number 1, whatever you're doing. And so the best one is jail number 1, in my opinion, because of one reason, and I'll show you.
The swipe jail. If your shorts stop under 1,000 views, you failed YouTube's 3-second test, like this video. Nothing happens to make me want to stick around, which means it doesn't have a hook. And sure, a hook can get you out of swipe jail, but wouldn't you rather just skip all 3 jails at once? I mean, that's what the biggest creators do when they use the triple hook. That first channel I showed you did have one video that got out of swipe jail. See if you can pick out what it did right. This one nailed the visual hook. A plane haphazardly flying through the sky, that'll make anybody curious, but nothing else happened. They couldn't triple hook if they wanted to because there was nothing else to be curious about. But
okay, so the thing I really loved about this one and why I picked it first is I showed that he didn't do anything. All he did was he landed a plane, and so AI generated an ending so I could use it as an example.
Let's say there was a reason to post this, like the plane lands in an unexpected way.
I thought that was pretty cool. Like, oh, whoa, how did he do that? The other 2 examples, they get a little more convoluted, and the people that stick around for those are sticking around for the full thing. And so I start with the hook. This is what all the big creators do when they use the triple hook. And so that's like a big qualifying statement right there, is that's what they do, right? And so the hook is, what is this triple hook? And so I give the value, and then we move on to the second one. And this part, I haven't talked to you guys a lot about it, but let's focus on the segue, how I wrote the segue.
This video got 61 million views with only 2 hooks. See if you can guess which one I left out. Nobody was buying this man's food, so he took out his iPhone and he glued it to the ground in front of his stand. If you said text hook, you are correct, because the subtitles aren't really a hook. They don't add anything to the story, not like a caption does, but
the text hook's missing, by the way, that was the question.
Doesn't need a caption because the visual hook is so strong. A real person inside a 3D scene stops the scroll every time. And I know that because my students keep going viral too, and like 70% of them never made content before. Hell, one of them just started a new channel, and the first 2 shorts, both viral. I think if we added captions, it would probably be overkill at this point. And also, I don't want to mess with the workflow that's paying all my bills. The point is, you don't need 3 hooks if you got one really, really strong hook. By the way, if you want results like my students and I, just go to viral.school.
Oh, the way that I flowed into it, you didn't even really tell it was an ad. It kind of wasn't, because it was adding so much value. But that is what this optional segue is right here. So if you are going to have some sort of call to action where you want people to convert to your landing page, your email list, your product, whatever, put it after point number 1, right at the 90-second mark. So that means the first 30 seconds is like a solid intro. Then from 30 to 90 is point number 1. And then at the 90-second mark, I try to do the CTA. Now, this seems like it's crushed. It's so fast, but that's the point, right? I don't hit it all the time. What was this? 2 minutes, 21 seconds. When did I start talking about it? Right at 2 minutes. So I was like 30 seconds late. It's difficult, but if I aim for that, even if I miss, I'm at least closer to being concise for the viewer. These are the constraints that I put on myself, because I'll fluff all day if I don't make sure that I get that at the 90-second mark. Okay, so we move on to point number 2. Let's listen to how I segue it.
They did add the caption, and because of that, they passed the swipe test, and now you will too. But be careful, because even if you have a good hook, most creators that get out of swipe jail fall right into jail number 2.
And that was the segue, right? You have to stay around because you might fall into this trap. That's how I get you. I'm like, oh, but be careful, because everybody else falls into this trap. And it's like, well, fuck, I might as well stick around. I don't want to fall into that. So that's my segue. That's the segue to number 2's hook right there. Okay, so next you're going to hear something that makes people curious.
If your short's above 1K but under 10,000 views, put yourself in the viewer's shoes, because you just got locked up in reaction jail. Those who escape
reaction jail. So that's the hook. It's like, what is this? What does that mean, right? That needs further explaining, and so that's the next hook.
Those who escape this jail all have one thing in common. They understand perspective.
So it's a little bit of a lazy one, but that's a qualifying statement, right? Those who understand this, they're pros, they're good at this, they get views, they all understand this one thing. And so that's the qualifying statement. It's less about example and more like FOMO. Let's go to number 3 so we can hear my segue there, and then I'll move on to the end.
Even though I didn't waste any time in the short, it probably still won't go viral, and you're about to find out why. Even if you're not in this jail yet, pay attention, because with what I'm about to say, you'll probably just blow right past it. And
yeah, even if you're not in this jail yet, that's the segue. I segued from,
even though I didn't waste any time in the short, it probably still won't go viral.
I related it back to the thing I said previously, and I segued to the next thing I'm talking about. So I had just got done talking about that particular short. Segues are super important. If you just keep it super rigid and you're like, point number 1, blah, 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 blah. Point number 2, it doesn't make people think they need the next point. You need to make them think they need it. All right. I hope those of you that are starting a business or going to start a business are listening to this, because I'm not joking. This took me years to figure out. All right. Then the quick CTA. This is before the end screen. I forget. I don't know if I did it on this one, to be honest.
As for that free tool I mentioned earlier.
There, that's it. That's the CTA. So basically I'm giving people stuff for free, but to get it, they have to give me their email, right? And so what is it? The lockpick.
You have all the keys, but sometimes keys just aren't enough, which is what.
Okay, so that segue, it's like a rehook. It might not be enough, so you might need this next thing. And I'll drop the tool, and then I'll probably say something like, but that might not be enough. It seems manipulative, but really, the point of this is to get people to pay attention to the value you have to offer. You're presenting the conversation in a way that keeps attention so they can fucking listen.
The Shorts Lockpick. The somewhat unethical guide to breaking out of shorts jail. It's got every technique and trick to take your shorts.
So that's the Shorts Lockpick. You get the email, you jump into my email list, and then you get the Shorts Lockpick. My favorite thing about it is the engagement bait. Intentionally get a small detail wrong. People have to correct you in the comments. Hold a pin or knife or tool incorrectly. The more specialized the tool, like Kalia's hammer. She holds a hammer like a microphone. But people will try to correct you, especially like if you are in the DIY niche and you use a glue gun wrong, something that's really, really dumb. Like I had a short at one point where I pulled out $1 and I put it into the vending machine upside down. Oh my God, that got people for sure. leave a typo or weird spacing in a word. The people that want to feel better than you, that want to elevate their status, those are the ones that you get with this. And it's just more engagement. So it is what it is. Okay, links in the description, right next to the link where you can make a crap load of money with shorts, the 3D animation thing. If you're wondering how much money those make, by the way, take a look at this video right here. Okay, so that is a super easy segue rehook, because people want to see how much shorts make. That's why I made the video on vidIQ. That's why this one links to vidIQ. It's not even my video. That's exactly how to do your in-screen. You make them need something and it exists in another video. So to recap, before I go into the editing part of the Omega script, you got the intro, you meet expectation, you match the visuals and the text as the thumbnail and the title. Then input bias, qualifying statement. I've gotten this many views, or input bias, any Austin style, like I followed the power lines throughout GTA to see if they connected to power stations. Let that try to give you an idea. Like, what can I do that nobody else will take the time to do? I challenge you to think of your own. Hook and curiosity is very obvious. I covered like all 4 in one at the beginning. Ensure value, summarize the 3-point structure. That's what I do. You can have it multiple points if you want to go with a Mr. Beast style entertainment video. The bonus value is the shorts lock pick thing that I did. Point number 1, I'm not going to go through all these, but the thing after point number 1 at the 90-second mark is whatever CTA you want, if you want people to go to your email list. I know some of you just want to do entertainment, but I'm seeing... I can't say that. I'm seeing a lot of issues with people on YouTube just in general. People that are professionals, people that were getting paid and not getting paid now, okay? And I'm not talking about the demonetization. I'm talking about things are failing for some people. All I'm saying is don't depend on AdSense completely. What if your channel got deleted today? Do those people exist anywhere, or do you have to start all the way over? That's the kind of thing I want you to prevent. Like, starting an email list is just so simple, and the people that are in your community will join it, and you can connect with them that way. I use Kajabi, but you could just use kit.com, I think, and it's free. Just think about what kind of value or entertainment or something you could offer in a short email, right? It can be like 2 or 3 sentences and then a sign off. That's it. Just like, oh, look at this fun thing that Thor did today, right, Cat Mom? Or just like a little blog. That's it. Like something stupid and simple, but that people will enjoy reading. And so that's the 90-second mark. Then we got point 2, point 3. We segue into the free offer, or you just re-mention the thing that you did at the 90-second mark. I do email list, product, coaching community, or the free thing if you're doing extra value. And then the end screen should be like 10 seconds, very fast. But none of that matters if you don't know this thing, but that's nothing compared to how crazy it was when I did this, right? If you're entertainment. When they watch the next video, they create a watch session. The amount of time that people spend on your stuff in the platform directly correlates to how many views you continue to get afterward. Okay, let's move on to the editing part of the Omega script. So the editing, I've pretty much covered most of it, but intro needs to be 30 seconds or under. I think my best intro was 12 seconds. It's fucking killer. Okay, as long as you mention all the things, if you can do all the things in one sentence for the majority of it, holy shit, you're good. Then the first value point needs to begin between 30 and 40 seconds, so that leaves a little bit of leeway for the intro to go a little bit longer if it's necessary, especially if you're doing storytelling or something like that. But the first, and we're focused on structure here, the first value point or the first part of the story, something starts at 30 seconds, right? The way I say lead with best insight is sometimes things have to build up. And so the first dopamine hit happens before 75 seconds. And I'll tell you what that is right here.
But let's say there was a reason to post this, like the plane lands in an unexpected way.
And so that's the dopamine hit. A dopamine hit comes from an epiphany, like I just got value, I just learned something, or it comes from a laugh, like something really funny happened and you enjoyed it. That's a dopamine hit, right? So that's kind of my rule. It has to happen within 75 seconds. My stuff seems to perform best when that happens. And that's why we front load the best insight. And then the call to action happens right after the best insight at the 90-second mark. And then this is optional. This is something that I try to do, but each section contains 2 of 3 things: the hook, the epiphany, or credibility, epiphany, or hook and credibility, right? It doesn't have to do all 3, but yeah, the light bulb moment is the dopamine hit that I was talking about. A lesson learned or an emotion felt. That's it. And then the last thing I do, and I've talked about this a lot before, but the Warren checklist is Blair Warren. He came up with this checklist, and I always keep it here to remind myself not to be a dick, right? We're here to encourage people. Everybody should be creators, right? That's my whole goal. I want people to create, but I want them to actually create stuff. And so when I see slop, sure, I get annoyed, but like I have that list down there to remind me, hey, dude, why are you pushing people away? That's not what you should be doing. And like, I have to I'm human, right? I have to remind myself constantly. But the way to like help people to really get them your value is you encourage them like, hey, this is possible. You justify the failure like, hey, that shit happens to everybody. It's not your fault. This happened to me, right? It's happening to everyone. It's not you. This is what you were missing. You couldn't have done it until you knew this. So it's not your fault at all. Allay the fears is, hey, this is proof that everybody can do this. Everybody is able to do this. This is more for like business stuff, but this is just something that I really focus on. Confirming the suspicions, which is really easy to do for me because most of you are right about the things that you come to me with. You're like, is YouTube really doing this? Yeah, it is, right? But here's how we get around it. And then throwing rocks is very easy for us to do at the algorithm, at slop creators. Like we all have a common enemy and that's what builds us as a community. And so that's the Blair Warren checklist. That's what I include in the Omega script. All the people that aren't in VIP, if you stayed for that, you're welcome. Okay, I know it seems overwhelming, but it's not that bad when you get your own Omega script, okay? It's free to download. Go to attention.tools, put in your email, no password, nothing. Just click on the button that emails you, and then you're in. Inside downloads, you'll find the Omega script, you'll find my book, and some shorts overlays, and the lockpick. It's all in there. We keep adding free stuff. And then outside that, you can unlock everything else if you join VIP. You get replays of all this. I get to review your shorts on Mondays, your long forms on Wednesdays, your thumbnails on Wednesdays. We have Q&A Saturdays, which you just watched. Obviously, I teach sometimes. And then all the tools in Attention OS get unlocked, including John, but there's just so much awesome stuff, so many awesome people. Links in the description if you want to join us. Now, it's time to watch the Omega script in action. Right here. Check it out. I think you'll watch it a lot differently now that you know all my tricks.